take care of each other. And the word govern is to control, and ment is met mind. Government, mind, control. And so you see where this ancient language has been used against us. So we're going to step out of these Necromensing languages and create a new world, a new language. We'll sing a new song.
Practically, they started to say, we want for this 1% to go. Then they will let us to self-governance, to govern ourselves. But practically, they are coming with the idea of the pyramid and artificial law, that this is not the self-governance.
Universal law, but when you look at, let's say, what is in the UN Declaration of Rights, if you will, that has been accepted by many countries, and some countries, not all of it. But what's important, again, is we need to look at the US, China, the superpowers have not ratified, have not joined the UN Declaration of Human Rights. They say they have their own, so it's not universal. But I need to bring this up because what's so important in what is actually universal as one of the let's say, abstract forces and intrinsic laws is the right of self-determination. And this is what has also been robbed in the past from humanity with the serfdom and the feudal systems, as an example. So what we are doing, you know, with with anything, including the Q psyops, these things always have the good intentions, but then they get infiltrated and steered away from the full goal. But having said that, they do have their purpose because everything takes us forward, and that's what's important. So we don't throw anything away until we need to, and we embrace the new and the new options and abilities. So with this worldwide, you know, mostly it's recognized the right of self-determination, which is the right of choice on how to govern yourself or who you wish to represent you as a governing, if you will. And yes, I'm using these sickening govern words, but it leads to autonomy. Because with this, at the same time, how that is written, it says the individual gets to choose how they are governed. With GPMS, we fully exercise the right of self-determination, and it's the individual that governs theirself with their choice of self-determination, with their right. So they govern theirself in collaboration and unity with the rest of the population upon the planet, the majority. And if you're to take a poll today around the world in every individual country, if you actually ask everyone, what you will find is 99% in every country doesn't want any war, doesn't want any of that. All they want is peace, harmony, abundance. It's only this 1% that is causing the less than 1% that is causing the problem. Military is not the way to force this. Many lives will get lost in it, and it is not the way. The simple, most peaceful, logical way is, again, what we're doing with GPMS, collecting the lawful consent. And it's a lawful consent because the individual is utilizing their intrinsic unalienable right of self-determination. They choose. They no longer choose the world and all the governments. They are choosing a new world where all of the moral ones are coming together in the circle, if you will, to do what is right for all and to end, you know, what's been occurring. So as no individual nation can do it. They had continued to attempt and try, but the actual problem is the system itself, the political system and the government system. This is the problem, and the capitalistic system that they imposed and enslaved upon humanity. This is what we're eradicating, because that is the root cause of all problems worldwide, is their system, and we don't need it. Everyone with a good heart, we know all what to do, what is good for everyone, and this is what GPMS is doing. But again, we really cannot do it inside of any individual country, because all of these governments are all connected worldwide. And like Serbia, when you do everything right, boom, the rest of the governments that are evil would not recognize it. So the people are immediately squashed. So this is why GPMS is doing it universally, collect the people outside of the governments. Once we have the majority, we take the lawful and rightful ownership of it to do what is righteous and what is moral. And with this, when you look at our community, like Todd, like Beatrice, we are all of good heart, and most importantly, do no harm. This is what we are. We are peace and we are love. But this is what 99% of humanity also is. So with this, we lawfully, for those that are not awakened, we give it again simply, this is a vote. This is a choice. In the old time, we're in unprecedented times now. In the old time, you would have a government with political parties to choose from. You would have that system. In this new time, you have a completely new system to choose from that gives you your full liberty and abundance. What are you going to choose? The old political structure worldwide, or are you going to choose the freedom? And with this, no, not with any military is not the way. And the real truth is that the military are the actual employees of the people in the old system, and they cannot lawfully act against any people, and especially endanger the lives of civilians and women and children. What we're currently seeing in Israel, or what we have just seen, you know, that this is not acceptable. It's not the way at all. And the military and police forces, they are faced with a moral choice and a moral obligation. Even at this time, they were faced with this during the pandemic, if you will, and some did leave. Some needed their jobs because they're in a delicate situation. They did not really have a choice. So they still remain in these reluctant positions of military and police. But once there is enough people gathered worldwide, then they can make the choice to support the people by leaving the ranks of the police and the military, which makes that much smaller. And there will not be any battle with this, because again, we would not be doing this if it's just humanity. There's a lot of other things that are involved that secure, guarantee, and ensure this.